Welcome to today's lazy day yoga. This class is for when we're having a chill day and we still want some amount of movement, but we're not necessarily looking to overly exert ourselves. My name is Telisa, and we're going to go ahead and get started on our knees. Once you're there, get settled in, and you can either close out your eyes or look down at your mat 2 or 3 feet in front of you. You can find stillness or a gentle swaying motion left and right. We're beginning to just tune in with our body, bringing our mind to the present moment. Acknowledge that you might have a lengthy to-do list, but just set all of that aside in your mind right now, and you can come back to it when you're done here. Feel the pressure of the ground on your shins and tops of your feet. Start noticing the feeling of your clothing against your skin. Maybe you can feel your hair brushing against your skin. Just tuning in to the physical sensations that you feel right here and right now. We're going to start with a breathing exercise. We'll just do a simple, gentle box breathing. It's one of my favorites. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold for a count of 4. So let's take one round of regular breath. And let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Lungs should be full. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. One more round. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. Let's gently flutter the eyes open if you had closed them. We're going to stay on our knees. I'm just rotating for better view. And we're going to start by coming into something similar to a child's resting pose, but we're going to bring a side stretch into it. So with the right arm, the knife edge of the right hand, so the pinky edge, we're going to reach towards the opposite corner, top right corner of our mat. Lower your forearm down. Knees can be splayed or together, whatever feels more comfortable and accessible for you. And then we're going to rest our forehead on our forearm and reach the right fingertips away, and you should feel a stretch along the right side of the body, kind of underneath the armpit there. To accentuate the stretch, you can also push that pinky edge of your hand down into the mat. You should feel the engagement even more. And now if you want to dig a little bit deeper into this, you have the option of staying right here, or we're going to lift the hips up, shift forward, so the hips are going to come over the knees, scoot that right hand forward, and then same thing, rest the forehead down on the forearm. The hips are just elevated here. So pushing the knife edge of that right arm into the mat. And then slowly releasing, pulling the hips all the way back. And then the left hand reaches for opposite top corner of the mat. Right forearm comes down, forehead comes onto it, and we're reaching that left hand forward. Feel that stretch alongside the under part of your left arm. Same options on this side. Stay where you are or elevate the hips, scoot forward and settle back down. Keep pushing the pinky edge of that hand into the ground. Let's slowly release, and we're going to come up into tabletop and just do some barrel rolls with our spine. So I want you to imagine that your torso is inside a wooden barrel and there's honey stuck all along the inside of that barrel, and you're going to use your rib cage and slowly, mindfully try to scrape all of that honey off from the inside of that barrel. Really exaggerating the movement, and then reverse the direction. Once you're done with that, come to sit back on the heels again, and we're going to take kind of a gentle half camel pose. So I'm taking my left hand, reaching it back behind me. Palm can be flat or fingers can be tented. Right arm is going to swing around overhead. You can drop your gaze back, whatever feels good on your neck. Maybe you're looking down, maybe you're looking up. But we're just trying to puff our chest up towards the ceiling. And then slowly release, come back through center. Other side, right hand comes behind, left fingertips swing up and around. Bring your gaze wherever feels good for you. Puff your chest up. And slowly release. You can do another set of that, or if you want a little bit more, come and do half camel with me. So coming up on the knees this time. If that's a lot on your knees, you can double up your mat so it's more cushioning for your knees. Tuck your toes. And we're going to take the left hand and now bring it to the left heel. Right arm comes up and over. Keep puffing the chest up. Push your hips forward here. Set your gaze wherever feels good for you. And then slowly release. Reset through center. Right hand comes to the right heel. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Puff the chest up. Push the hips forward. Slowly release. Untuck the toes. Sit back on our heels. And we're going to bring both arms overhead, so biceps are by ears. Interlock just the thumbs, so your hands are in a prayer position with just the thumbs crossed. Hug your rib cage in so that we're not flaring out through the ribs there, with the biceps by ears. Keeping our hips glued down to our heels as best as we can. We're going to fold forward, letting the knife edge, so the pinky edge of our hands, touch the mat first, or as best as we can manage that. Coming into half tortoise. You can let your forehead rest on the mat as well. And try to inch your hands a little bit further away. From here, using your strength, coming all the way up. Release the arms. And we're going to do a couple shoulder rolls here. So just like we did with the spinal rolls, really exaggerate the movement. And then reverse. Staying where you are. I'm just rotating for these next two little movements we're going to be doing, and we're going to come into a neck stretch. So a couple options here. You can tent the right fingers to the side and then lower your left ear towards your left shoulder. By reaching these fingertips away, you should really feel that stretch around here, and then really slowly, mindfully tuck your chin down a little bit and see how it changes where the sensation is in your neck. And then maybe rotate your neck back a little bit. It's really slow and mindful here. Maybe there's a positioning for your head that you like best. If so, then come to stop there. And if you want a little bit more for the stretch, we're going to bring the left arm, reach it up and overhead, and you're going to push your ear into your hand as you push your hand into your ear. While we're here, you can engage your Mula Bandha. So that's like that Kegel squeeze, where you're pulling your pelvic floor up and in, locking everything in, nice, tight, and engaged. Slowly release that side. So now our left fingertips reach for the side, right ear towards right shoulder, and then gently tilt your head forward, back. Just noticing the change in sensation. See if you really like one particular angle. And if you want more, right arm reaches up and overhead. Hand comes on top of the ear, and you're going to push the ear into the hand and the hand into the ear. And slowly release. Now we're going to come into a little bit of a rib cage isolating move. So with your thumbs, I want you to bring them to your rib cage, and then your fingers to your hip bones. This is going to help us target just the rib cage as best as we can. So what we're doing is moving our rib cage left and right, side to side, keeping a neutral spine. Come back through center, and now we're going to move the rib cage forward and back. Move a little bit slowly. Let your fingers really help guide you in isolating this through the rib cage. And now we're going to make a diamond shape through the rib cage. So pulling the rib cage forward, side, back, side, forward, repeating that. And now reversing directions, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side. Or you can keep up with that, or if you want to make it a little bit more streamlined, let's make a circle. So doing this rib cage circle in one direction, and then switching direction. Release the arms down, stay where you are. I'm just rotating again. One more pose on our knees. I know it can start to be a lot on the tops of the feet, so we're stretching that out as well. So if it's starting to bug you, just know, hey, we're just stretching it out as well, and we're almost done. We're going to bring our hands to cup our heels. So my thumbs are on the outside and my fingers are on the inside. We're getting set up for a rabbit pose. So feet are together, knees are together as they can get. And then we're going to round through the spine and bring our forehead in contact with our knees. Top of the head comes in contact with the mat, or as best as we can. From here, still gripping the heels, we're going to start lifting the hips. Squeeze the heels together. Chin is tucked in tightly towards the chest. And then we slowly release. Rounding up one vertebrae at a time. And then I want you to swing your feet, in front of you. We're going to extend through the right leg and bring our left leg into a tree leg pose. Rotate your upper body so that it's pointing towards that extended leg. Extended leg is flexed, pointed, maybe pointed. Just do something active with your foot. And then leading with the rib cage, we're going to fold forward, So we're not bringing our face to our leg yet. Nice flat back. Inhale to lengthen out through the crown of the head. Imagine someone's got a rope attached to it and they're pulling on it, lengthening, helping to lengthen you through the spine. And then exhale, fold maybe just a millimeter deeper. And now you can release and bring your forehead down, bringing the stretch into the back as well. Coming all the way up. Now I want you to bring your right arm in front of you, almost like you're holding a baby. Flex through the right foot. And then left arm reaches up and overhead, keeping the left shoulder stacked on top of the right as best as you can. Getting a nice side stretch here, reaching for those right toes, whether you find them or not. Doesn't matter. We're just looking for this side body sensation. Gaze is up past the left arm. Keep pulling the left shoulder back to open up through the chest even more. And then slowly release. Oh, let's not switch out the legs yet. Let's bring the sole of the left foot in contact with the mat so the knee is pointing upright. And we're going to take a gentle twist here. So left fingertips reach behind you. And bring the crook of the elbow into that knee. And then just bring your gaze past your left shoulder. Slowly release. And now we'll switch out the legs. So left leg is extended. Right leg is in that tree position. Do something active with the left toes and then rotate to the torso so it's square over the left foot, leaning with the rib cage. So again, rope attached to the crown of the head. Someone's pulling on it so we're nice flat through the back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold even a millimeter. And now you can release your head down, bringing some of the stretch into your back along the spine. Rounding up through center. And now the left arm comes in front of you like you're holding a baby. Right arm reaches overhead, left toes are flexed. Bring your gaze past the right arm, trying to square the shoulders up, making the chest proud, and we're reaching for those left toes, whether we find them or not, does not matter. Slowly release. Bring the sole of the right foot in contact with the mat. Right arm comes behind us. Grabbing the knee with that left elbow. And then bringing our gaze past our right shoulder. Slowly release. And we're going to ever so gently find our way into a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs here. And then I want everyone to come up high on the toes. Take a generous double knee bend so that your rib cage comes in contact with your thighs. So bend your knees as much as you need to make the rib cage press against the thighs there. And then opening up through the shoulders so the biceps are by the ears or maybe beyond. From here now, without moving the upper body, see if you can straighten the legs a little bit. To help get your heels even closer towards the mat, you can actively flex through your feet. So engaging that front line will help open up the back line. Come up on the toes again. And this time drop both heels over to the left-hand side, getting a nice side body stretch. Up through center. Other side, nice left side body stretch. Up through center. We're going to bring our gaze between our hands. Bring our right knee towards our chest as we shift forward into plank, so shoulders are stacked over wrists. And then just lowering that right knee. In between the hands, you can untuck that right foot. And we're going to tent the fingers out to the side and lower the chest and lift it, making an undulating wave-like motion through the spine. finding stillness. And from here, we're going to plant the right hand near the right knee. We're going to tuck the back toes, and we're going to come into a fallen triangle pose. So if you want something really gentle, maybe you just come up on the knee. You might have to shift the back leg forward, maybe with the staying on the knee. It's more comfortable with the toe untucked. And you're just going to lift your hips up. Arm can adjust to wherever it feels good, but we're just opening up through the hips, through the chest. If you want to explore the full expression of fallen triangle with me, tuck your back toes, bring your weight into your right hand, lift your hips. We're on the knife edge of this right foot now, and then we're going to slide it in front of us. Rotate on the back foot as we lift the chest, the hips up. Make this as small or as exaggerated as you want. Wherever you are, if you're on your knee or in the full expression, bring both hands in contact with the mat, right knee towards your chest. Step it back, staying in plank. Left knee towards the chest, lower the knee between the hands, untuck that back foot, tent the fingertips out to the side again, and let's do more of these spinal waves. Bring that left hand to around the left knee, thigh area. And again, you can do the gentle version of this where you just lift up through the hips, kind of open the chest up. The arm can come up, the arm can stay down. Or if you want to explore the full expression, if you did so on the other side, tuck the back toes, lift the hips up, come onto the knife edge of that left foot, extend that left foot forward. You're going to swivel on the back right toes. Hips and chest are lifting up towards the ceiling. Wherever you are, looking down at the mat, bringing both hands down, left knee is towards the chest. Step it back. Pull the hips back into downward facing dog. Do that double knee bend again, trying to pull the ribcage towards the thighs to really open up through the shoulders, and then without moving the upper body, straighten the legs as much as you can. From here, let's lower down onto the knees. And I'm just going to step the right leg forward, coming into a little 90-90 lunge here. I'm just doing a gentle lunge forward. Knee can go past your toe, maybe come up on that right heel a little bit. Tense your right hand to the inside of your right foot for some balance. Bending through the left leg. We're reaching for the left ankle. If you can't grab it, you're just using strength to hold here. But if you can get a hold of the foot, we're pulling it in, just getting a nice stretch through the front of that left leg, the hip flexor, the quad. Slowly release. You can just swing that right leg back behind you, and then the left foot comes forward. We're in this 90-90 lunge, and then shifting the weight forward. Left fingertips can come to the inside of that left foot, looking back, bend through that right leg. Maybe you're just reaching for the foot in that direction. Maybe you can grab it and pull the heel towards your bum, getting that nice stretch to the right hip flexor and quad. Slowly release. Swing that leg back behind. Sit back on your heels. Legs come out in front of you. And we're going to finish up here on our back, starting with candlestick, plow, and noise canceling pose. So if none of these are in your practice or you're not feeling it, just come straight into a happy baby pose or any other poses that you like. Otherwise, if you're exploring with me, bring your knees in towards your chest. And I like to do a little swing through the legs to come up into our candlestick. Squeeze through the glutes, reach the toes up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here, or Keeping the legs as straight as possible. Start to lower the feet down and see if you can find the mat. So feet are flexed. Arms can come behind you, interlock all 10 fingers. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. I'm just not doing that too much because actually I'm going to move my microphone. There we go. So tuck your chin in towards your chest. For plow pose here, arms can be back behind you as I mentioned. And then if you want more still, you're going to bring the ears, you're going to bring the knees, to either side of the ears. This is why it's called noise canceling. You're on the tops of the feet, and then your arms are going to reach up overhead, pointing in the same direction as your feet. You can squeeze the knees into the ears as well. And then from here, straighten the legs again for our plow pose. Keep the arms overhead. This is just a little transition challenge. See if you can with as much control as possible. Flex through the feet and lower the legs down, all the way down. If you had zero control with that, that's fine. Good job trying it. And now we're going to come into happy baby. So bring the knees in towards the chest, more towards the armpits. And then you can grab from the inside or the outside of the feet. I usually do inside, so now I'm doing outside just to switch it up. Personal preference. Feet are flexed. Start really lengthening your breath. You can stay right here if you want to find a little bit of movement in your happy baby. You can extend through one leg, maybe tap your toes down towards the mat. Extend through the other leg, maybe tap your toes down towards the mat. Again, whether you touch the mat or not does not matter. And maybe try extending both legs. And then coming back into our happy baby. When you're ready, slowly release your feet down. You can come into a more traditional shavasana with your legs extended, feet the distance of your mat. If that's too much on your lower back, bend up your legs. Feet will be the distance of your mat. And then your knees will gently fall in against one another. Arms can be down by your side. Cactus arms, arms in a T, up overhead, behind your head, whatever you want. Make it your own. And just check in with how you feel. Let's do a little body scan starting at the toes, tops of the feet, soles, heel, and ankles. Noticing how your calves and your shins feel, your knees, thighs, hamstrings and glutes. Noticing your hips, your low belly, the area around your rib cage, your chest, upper back, shoulders, upper arms and elbows. Bringing our awareness to our forearms, wrists, tops of the hands, the palms, and the fingers. Bring your awareness now to your neck, your jaw, your ears and face, temples, forehead, all the way around the very top of your head. Go ahead and stay in Shavasana for as long as you want or need. Hope to see you again in my next video. Namaste.